What's happening, people? Welcome back to the show. This is the Upper Tier Podcast. It's the Saintly Sessions. Match reaction. Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1. Atalanta going through 3-1 on aggregate. And this game is it's so much deeper than just the Europa League, isn't it? It's just that vision of Klopp at the end, tipping his hat and stuff like that. I can't get that image out of my head, and it's just, as you know, I was over at the Palace game and I said it then. I said so many of these players look like they've checked out, and it's a sad indictment, really. And I don't know whether it's a case of energy, mentality, psychology, whatever it is, but it just looks like since that announcement from Klopp back in January, the only thing I can compare it to is if you watch any of the nature programs, it's like when the great white shark hits the seal and hits him with that first belt and then leaves him there dripping, blood dripping, slowly ebbing away, and then comes back to feast on the carcass. And this is what this feels like. This is a very, very sad ending to Klopp's tenure at Liverpool, and ultimately I think it's going to get worse. Crashing out of the FA Cup at Old Trafford the way we did last night, if it's not bad enough enduring the Europa League, but the thing we clung on to was get to the final, give them a send-off in Dublin, the party, everything booked and all that kind of thing. And then the way in which we crash out last night, get the early goal, get the penalty, but it's just after that, it's just, they look so uninterested, they look so not bothered. You look at Salah, by God, we need to cash in on him this summer, don't we? He looks so checked out and so fed up. His body language is atrocious. Simple opportunities that he would normally put away, absolutely missing. That lob last night over the keeper, bread and butter to him. Dino said it last night in our WhatsApp group, and I said it after the Palace game the other day. I said just his lack of movement, his lack of interest, his lack of everything. And yeah, people will come at me and they'll argue about the numbers, and he's still posting numbers and stuff like that. No, but in those key moments where he normally delivers, he's not delivering. And it's not just him. There's a number of players. If you look at Dominic Szoboszlai, who before Christmas was looking like one of the signings of the season, was absolutely playing out of his skin, was playing brilliant, has come back after that injury now and has dropped off dramatically, off the edge of a cliff. His passing is atrocious, his reading of the game is atrocious, just not at it. Curtis, coming back off his injury as well, has struggled to really find his rhythm within the games and what he needs to do. Trent has come back in, obviously played a number of decent passes last night and stuff like that, but again, it all looks very laboured and not very natural at times with a lot of these players now. And it's a really sad end to Klopp's tenure at Liverpool, and I wonder, on reflection, was the announcement handled correctly? Should it have been announced in that way, or should it have been held back? Should they have waited to announce it? Did it need to be announced? And once it was announced, did that arm the players with that get out of jail card in terms of performance and stuff like that? We have looked atrocious against Crystal Palace, who were so organised and so coached, made us look absolutely ordinary. Konate coming back, looks like it's turning a truck on the pitch. Just so much to talk about, and the drop off is just absolutely sensational. A season that probably promised so much, and even with the announcement, we were well positioned to deliver a number of trophies. Got the Carabao Cup over the line. If that's the defining moment for Klopp's last season, it's pitiful, really. But just confidence shot, interest looks shot. A lot of these guys look like they're already on the beach, you know. Endo came back from the Asian Cup, massive drop off, was brilliant before it. McAllister's absolutely working his socks off in there, trying to make things happen. But a lot of talk coming out of the club that you wouldn't normally expect, you know. Diaz is out full of talking about Barcelona. Obviously has a disabling factor. Darren mentioned last night on Thursday Tier Talk, go check it out. He spoke about Trent and his interview on the overlap. Sounded like a move might be on the cards potentially, or certainly open to it. This is a guy we would have hung our hat on to be the club captain, the scouser in our team. Who knows for the next 8 to 10 years or whatever it is. And it's just really, really frustrating that this is how the gaffer is going to be sent off. And would you back against Fulham beating us on Sunday? I find it very difficult to think that we'll go to Craven Cottage, and if it's the same attitude as last night and the same attitude as Crystal Palace, getting anything out of that game. And another poor result or another draw, another dropping of any points, and that's it, we're done, title race done. And this will be Klopp's send-off. Klopp's send-off will be Carabao Cup, crashing out of a Europa League to Atalanta, and crashing out of the FA Cup to Man United at Old Trafford. This will be the final year of Jürgen Klopp, and it's so poor to think about it. And again, as I said, that image of him on the pitch last night with the top on and tipping the hat and stuff like that, he looks absolutely wasted. The team looks absolutely wasted. And I can't believe this is how this final chapter of this story ends. And I know you'll get people talking about, okay, when you look back at the Jürgen Klopp era, and I've mentioned it many times, that it will be missed opportunity. It will be, should have been so much more silverware. And that 9 years at the club, although he delivered the league to us after 30 years and we won the Champions League and we were in more finals and all that kind of stuff, did it really deliver enough? Was he fully supported? Probably not. Did sentiment and romance get in the way of that drive and desire for success? When you look at Pep, you know, and we can, you know, you can talk about the 115 charges, you can talk about the financials, you can talk about all that stuff. But the reality is, at some point you have to man up and get the job done. And more often than not, we didn't. And it's really, really disappointing. So more so than the reaction to last night's game, which was really poor. Did we really expect Jürgen Klopp to bow out of Liverpool Football Club on a wet night in Bergamo, where Atalanta knocked us out of the Europa League? It feels as if we've nearly gone back to where we started when he took over, really. That we're a team competing for top 4 and not sitting at the top table of Europe. And it's just so disappointing on so many levels. As I said, I was at the Palace game on Sunday, and that was a huge eye-opener for me. And there's a lot of things people don't want to hear. There's a lot of things that Liverpool fans don't want to hear. You know, because we cling on to a lot of stuff. But this is truly the end of an era. We seen it last summer. Fabinho gone, Firmino gone, Jordan gone. But this summer you're going to see a hell of a lot more than that. And this will truly be the end of an era. And I said it to Darren last night, I wouldn't be surprised with Klopp exiting the building that a number of guys don't go at the same time as well. And the sad thing about it is it might be guys that are going to go that you wouldn't have expected to go, or you would have been hanging your hat on maybe. And I think with Amarin coming in potentially, I think with a different set of eyes and a different set of tactics and a different set of formation and way of playing and coaching maybe, I think maybe it's not a bad time for some of those guys to exit the building. But it is truly a sad end of a Jürgen Klopp era. And that's all I have to say about it, folks. Leave your comments down in the chat. Let us know your thoughts. Who goes? Who stays? what have you put the drop off down to? It's tough times are back again, folks. Let's see what happens. I will be doing a preview for the Fulham game at some stage. I'm not even sure what way to approach it or how to go about it and stuff like that, because it's just it's bad. It's bad. I've often said this season, down but not out. I'm not too sure whether this team can pick itself up off the canvas this time. Subscribe to the channel, folks. Hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. Talk to you again real soon. Cheers.